Sonic X. It's hard to deny that it's one of my favorite Sonic cartoons because it covers the games that I grew up with. Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, and it fills in the blanks sometimes narratively. How could I not? And also so many other people that it explains why it's so popular, right? Is because it covers games that people really, really enjoy. I just wanted to start with that. Now, I want to move on to the elephant in the room. Everybody talks about it, Chris Thorndike. I'm going to talk about how I feel. I actually don't hate him as a character. I just don't think his loneliness, which is the core purpose, or at least the core thing they're trying to sell us on, is that he is lonely, right? But the problem is, they are also trying to introduce all these quirky side characters to make up for the fact that they're not really willing to spend that much animation budget to focus on Sonic doing all the cool things he does. So there's all these really, really cool supporting characters in Chris's house. So this is a cake and eat it too. They want their cake and eat it too kind of moment, where they want to have two benefits, but not have the payoff of either. So I feel like Chris would have worked really, really well if it was focused on his loneliness and the other side characters weren't there, but that would require an animation budget, in my opinion. The supporting cast is incredible, and I love the characters. I love Ella and Chuck. I'm laughing at them on our rewatch. Now, here's a thing that actually flows nicely into the next topic. So, I find that Sonic X, most of the time, shies away from action scenes. And I gotta talk about Sonic Prime because it's the most recent Sonic cartoon, so I'd be crazy not to, right? Sonic Prime actually has a focus on action sequences, and it lets them play out in a Sonic-y way. I feel like I have to say that because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and when I was a kid, I liked things like Nazo Unleashed, or Nazo, whatever you want to say, Unleashed, and it was very Dragon Ball-esque. I understand that it's not for everybody. But Prime is a really good example of how you could use Sonic's abilities into really cool action sequences, and I wish Sonic X did that. It feels like it's very rare that we get the really cool scenes. I do love the really, really cool scenes that we did get, but you know, it's just unfortunate that they didn't go as hard on the animation in general. There's some weak episodes. But I find that the designs in Sonic X are really animation friendly, and some people like the 3D models for modern Sonic, but let me just ask you, what were they designed in first? Exactly, 2D, I'm sorry, but I just feel like it's so faithful, it feels so authentically Sonic. The facial expressions, here, I'll give you an example. The facial expressions really work because in Sonic Prime, you see how they have to contort the faces, and it looks really good most of the time, but there are some moments where the lighting doesn't look quite right. That doesn't happen in 2D animation, and the reason they're having to bend that and force that is because the facial expressions on Sonic are designed for 2D. So it's not that I hate what Prime looks like or 3D in general, but Sonic X, the 3 quill idea, I like, and it's great for animation. Also, I know I talked about Sonic X's lacking of, you know, animation, but it really focuses on character interactions. They are super accurate portrayals of the characters, whether you watch it in English or Japanese. Obviously, it's more authentic in Japanese, but it is really great to see the characters bounce off of each other. Like I said, because they're putting a through line through games that fans have grown up with, it really makes you feel like you're entering the Sonic world as opposed to an interpretation of it, which we always had growing up, right? We always had the Archie comics, which was like a side thing. Like we've always been privy to it, right? Sat AM, we're used to that stuff. It's not a problem in Prime. It's just Sonic X will always have a special place in everyone's heart because of that reason. And because of that, I'm wondering, so I know Prime was meant to introduce a new generation of fans to Sonic, but by the end of it, it kind of feels like they were aware that they needed to kind of close the book on this. I honestly had fun with most of my watch with Sonic Prime. I didn't like how it was resolved, but it was fun. But I think it's great as it is. I don't think it needs to continue. But a Sonic X remake? Maybe the animation tomorrow is something like that, and I'm excited to watch it, and I will make something tomorrow on the Shadow Animation. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.